last week going into the game and how difficult a job it was going to be for you guys to hold up against Day and all those guys. How do you guys think you did? And was there anything going on between you guys? Chippiness was going on the defensive side of the ball we saw. Was there anything going on with you guys in the interior line during that game?
Yeah, I mean, we played really, really well. I know it came out right after the game that we had 199 rushing yards, and then after we went back and looked at the film, one play actually got counted as a pass, so we actually had over 200 yards of rushing. And so, you know, that's always, as an offensive line, our goal every game is to get over 200 yards rushing. That put Wayne over 100 yards. That's another thing. That's one of our goals. So we feel as if, you know, we played really well. I mean, they have a fantastic defensive line. You know, they are deep. You know, their 75's a really good guy, and then they had 99 that would come right in. You know, the end's are really good, and then obviously Sheldon Day's a man. So, but yeah, we feel like we played really well, and but no, you know, with offensive linemen, I don't think there's, you know, a whole lot of talk, and I think it's just more of us, you know, us and defensive linemen kind of do it with our words more than anything. You know, I know Shaq likes to get a little mouthy sometimes, but that's just, you just gotta be around Shaq to know he never stops talking. So, but no, there wasn't too much, you know, talk and whatnot going on.
I wanted to ask you about Sheldon Day. It looked like you guys had your hands full at times with that cat.
No, he's good. He's really good. He's just he plays with such good pad level and such a good motor, and he's really strong. He's just a great player. I mean, he's one of those guys that, you know, just nowadays you don't see those guys that are going to the whistle every play, and you know, and that's, as a coach, you know, you preach that obviously, but I mean, he's just bam, 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 full speed, and but no, he's a really good player, and you know, we did, but I really, especially after watching the film this morning, feel like, you know, we handled him really well, and a lot better than, you know, a lot of people thought that we would.
Jay, is there some disappointment with the line in the fourth quarter, in the sense that 1 or 2 first downs, and maybe it doesn't come down to that stop 2-point conversion?
Well, you know, a lot of people, you know, see that, well, we couldn't run the ball. Well, you know, I mean, it's really hard whenever, you know, everyone in the stadium, you know, knows that you're going to run the ball and they stack the box. I mean, you know, of course, it's not an excuse, but it's, I mean, yeah, it's disappointing because, you know, as an offensive line, you always want to be able to say, all right, it's on us, let's go, let's run the ball. But, you know, so it is a little disappointing, but, you know, I mean, it's just something that, you know, whenever you go back and you look at, you know, how their defense was, you know, they know that we're not going to throw the ball down the field. But, you know, I still feel, like I said, I feel really confident that, you know, we played really well. I mean, you know, we won the football game, and we, you know, and we as an offensive line, you know, even got praises this morning from Coach Sweeney himself. So.
No bad snaps.
No. I had, I think 60 something snaps. None of them were bad, which is, you know, I played in conditions similar to that. And I had a state championship game in high school where, I mean, it did every kind of precipitation. I mean, sidewards, rain, everything. And then I had another game my senior year that was pretty muddy, but I'm not having games like that here. But I mean, we did, you know, we did wet ball drill all week because we knew that it was gonna come torrential downpour. So I mean, we really practiced it.
So what's the hardest part of all that? I mean, you've got on the helmet and pads. Do you really notice the rain? Is it the heavy ball? What's the hardest part of playing?
I mean, whenever you're out on the field, you don't really notice it as much. You know, you're just so focused and locked into what you have to do. You more notice it whenever you're on the sideline, you know, and then it just starts coming down. And you're like, man, I'm kind of cold and wet, you know. But it's I don't know, the ball does get, you know, it does obviously get a little heavier. It starts retaining some water, but I don't know. You just all kind of try and block that out. And then, like I said, you work on that during practice in the middle of the week, so you have a better feel for it.
Like the field conditions, the actual footing you guys had, it looks like the turf held up pretty good. How was it for you guys actually out there?
Our grounds crew did a fantastic job. It was, I mean, the field held up great, and it was, I mean, I can't give them enough praise because it was fantastic. And you know, you hear of all this, oh man, it's going to rain, all this, and I'm like, man, the field's going to be flooded, it's going to be muddy. But no, our grounds crew did a fantastic job of keeping our field in check all week.
Such an emotional win and everything. Does it help that Georgia Tech's the next team, a team you're familiar with, you know you've got to get up and get ready for that game?
Well, I mean, you know, Georgia Tech's, you know, they're a really good team. I mean, they do a lot of things obviously on offense that are difficult, but they've got a great defense. I mean, I know their two-tier defensive linemen are pretty good. They got Adam Gotsis, who's been there for seems like about 10 years now. I mean, he's a really good player, and but I mean it does help a little bit, and it's like Coach Elliott was saying this morning. I mean, this is a rivalry game. It's a team that's not in our division that we play every year. And I mean so this will be an emotional game as well, and it's not really that hard. We do a really good job here, especially with our leadership, staying very focused, and just taking just one game at a time, and not really having that hangover that you hear of a lot. So.